everybody, this is Doug Kenny from Stories from Motorsports, and today we have Robert Stout with us. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing fabulous. Where are you at the moment?
So actually in downtown Indianapolis, working events for BMW that's actually taking place at the Indy Motor Speedway. So pretty cool event, but still dealing with the downtown traffic here.
That's amazing. So what's a BMW? What's that event you're doing?
So they're actually here for about a month. They've partnered with the Indy Motor Speedway. They have two locations between South Carolina and Normal, California. But for this month, they actually take over the track essentially and do programs for anybody in the general public to come out. They do full-day performance driving schools. By the end of the day, you're lapping around the track. You're doing timed autocrosses. It's a pretty cool deal. We also have the GT4 race cars out here. So whoever participates gets a hot lap with one of the pro instructors in one of the GT4 race cars.
That's amazing. So how'd you get into racing?
So my father's actually a motorsports broadcaster by trade. So I spent my whole childhood at drag strips and monster truck shows. And probably wasn't until I was about 12 years old or so that I began racing karts. And it just kind of took off from there. We moved over to the Indianapolis area. Actually, I haven't lived here in 10 years, but that's where it all began for me. And I got into karts, probably sports cars by the time I was about 16, 17. And I was able to get to a pro series by the time I was 18. And it's just hasn't stopped from there. Bring a mixed variety of sprint cars and open wheel cars, off-road, you name it.
So you've raced pretty much everything, right?
There's not too much I haven't gotten into at this point in time. Yeah, it's been a pretty cool ride along the way. I haven't been able to get to pretty much IndyCar or NASCAR yet, but I did get to play with some Indy Lights cars and some road race stock cars along the way. So yeah, it's been a good ride so far. I certainly can't complain.
That's pretty amazing, man. When did you get into Stadium Super Trucks?
Stadium Super Trucks actually began for me. Oh gosh, that would have been. This is my third season now, so it's been just a few years of some of the most bizarre racing that I've ever had to do. Man, it's definitely takes some getting used to. If you've never driven one of those things, the way the suspension works, the jumps, the way they fly. I mean, they are just really, really neat cars. And, really fun to be able to take them out of the IndyCar courses, the street tracks. They're just really exciting. And obviously put on a great show. Robby Gordon does a really good job with those.
Definitely. How long did it take for you to win your first race?
My first race win came at Nashville. I believe it was my first season, and I believe it was maybe my third or fourth weekend in the truck. We began at the St. Pete Grand Prix. Definitely had to get my feet wet out there and get a feel for how those things move around. There's so much body roll inside of those things. But we went to Mid-Ohio, did two different rounds, so the IndyCar weekend as well as the NASCAR weekend, and started to get a little more of a feel for it there, getting up into the top three. And then by the time we hit Nashville, I was able to take a race win, and I believe I qualified in the top three as well. And Nashville's been really good to me. Just was able to get latest win at that track as well. I qualified pole there last year. So, for whatever reason, I've got a pretty good rhythm in those trucks whenever we hit Nashville.
That's incredible. I went to the very first Nashville Grand Prix a couple years ago in 2021. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and what a cool event as well, right? It's just incredible what they've done and how they get to be so involved with it.
Yeah, and I saw you win that race, and it was pretty impressive. I saw your truck doing burnouts along with a few others at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was nice getting the win there. And Robby loves to put on the show, so we all hang around and play for a little while and let the fans know that we're just here to have a good time. I always like to say we're kind of like the halftime hooligan show. So it's everybody's watching the Indy cars and the sports cars and low center of gravity and big grip and downforce, and then all of a sudden we roll out and we literally have anti-downforce. we create lift, which creates a big draft, and honestly makes the racing very good. Keeps everyone together in a DOT tire. So yeah, everybody watches these sports cars fly around. Suddenly we come out and we're launching these things 200 plus feet off steel ramps. So it's certainly exciting.
It definitely is. I remember watching your truck when you came back to the front stretch, and I saw other trucks doing burnouts alongside you, like with Robby and Max Gordon and all that. And I just remember thinking, I was excited, but I remember thinking, wait, who won the race?
Yeah, absolutely. Because everybody's celebrating after one of those deals. It's everybody's just having a good time, and that's what's so cool about it. Is being able to just have fun with those guys. Especially this year, we've got a really good group of people. I mean, obviously Robby and Max Gordon are great people. Matty Brabham's out there. He's just he's the man behind the wheel. He definitely knows what he's doing. Gavin Harlan's no joke. Miles Cheek is out there now. Both got those guys coming out of the short course off road world. And yeah, man, there's some talent out there. And when we get done and the race is over, it's almost like indoor go karting with friends. Like you're racing hard, and we're going to run into each other and bump and grind and do our deal. And when it's all said and done, you're just laughing about it and having a good time. So obviously, we want to win. It's sort of so many incredibly competitive people that are out there. But once the checkered flag's out, it's just time to have a good time and enjoy and put on a show for the fans.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of fun, and at the end of the day, you're still friends with them in spite of the intense action.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we push that test to the limit with each other from time to time. But yeah, they're great people, and that's why we've come back for the past few years, and our partners with Continental Tire, formerly with Lucas Oil and Checker Dynamics. Just a lot of good people that have been a part of it, and it's because of that exposure that that series brings, the excitement that it brings to the events.
Yeah, just wondering, why is it that the series reduced their schedule this year?
So a majority of it has to simply do with the fact that Robby Gordon, who owns the entire series, he built those trucks from the ground up. I mean, he literally created Stadium Super Trucks and everything that it is, and they maintain the trucks. He really oversees every bit of it. Robby's also been very focused the past couple of years on his new speed manufacturing company. I mean, this guy has literally started essentially a car manufacturer from the ground up, building these off-road UTVs. So he's actually got it rolling now. He's getting them all shipped over to the U.S., legitimately built, and getting them out to the clients. So he's just been so head deep in his UTV business that he's just had to put more attention towards that, and just not quite as much this year for SST. But he feels really confident once this thing is off the ground and running that next year he has full intentions of putting a proper full schedule on the board and getting these things back out in front of the masses like he has in the past.
Only Robby can do that kind of thing. He's that talented.
No kidding. He is that guy. He is I've never seen someone with their hands in so many things at the same time. It's really unbelievable to watch how he works from a business standpoint. We all know his talent behind the wheel, but the rate at which his brain works and the amount of projects he has going on is legitimately unbelievable.
It's really amazing. And, I remember reading an article about it and how Robby pointed out that if he didn't leave RCR, it wouldn't have led to this, in NASCAR.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's a great point.
Because many people were saying that he should have stayed with Richard Childress and try to win a championship. But if that happened, it wouldn't have led up to this,
Yeah, Robby's had a heck of a unique career. There's no doubt about that. Man, I mean, it's just the different areas that guy has bounced around, and the success he's had in so many different varieties of racing. Again, it's just truly impressive in all the things he's built. I was actually watching one of his videos today. He's getting out of his shop in Charlotte, and he was just going over all the cars that have been built and the things that have come out of there. So it's just been really, really impressive to see everything that he's been able to do.